The Union Jack and the Hong Kong flag lowered to the accompaniment of the massed band and the pipes and drums. We're live here at the Tamar East for the British farewell ceremony. The Union Jack and the Hong Kong flags being folded for the last time at Tamar. And the Lone Piper with Immortal Memory, taken from a poem by Robert Burns. That was a volley of rifle fire. At celebration, only blank rounds were used. Now the guards will march off.
sun sets, the order of the world changes, but the light of friendship and the warmth of memory remain.
Britain has been honoured to have been part of the history of Hong Kong and to have shared in building the great free city that we see around us.
Hong Kong has been happy in our partnership. The past holds sorrows and yet has been full of joys. We will remember and be glad. We will remain as friends.
Time moves on, but the strength of our affection will not change. And we know that with the courage that brought success in the past, with the confidence that success has earned, everything is possible.
時光流逝，世事不斷轉變，但係有如浩瀚碧波，巍巍大山。過去嘅友誼經得起考驗，未來嘅友誼今日邁出第一步。
This city has a sure foundation. The years turn, our lives change. But there is something as firm as the mountains, as ceaseless as the seas. The friendship that endures. The friendship of the future, now begun.
Tears from the skies as the whole cast gather for the finale. And this is Rhythm of My Heart. The entire cast gathering at Teil for the grand finale to the British farewell ceremony. The Hong Kong Philharmonic Orchestra playing. Children in the cast come from the Hong Kong Children's Choir, Diocesan Boys School Choir, Hong Kong Bach Choir, Hong Kong Philharmonic Chorus, the Sicilian Singers. Also children from the Chinese YMCA Secondary School, the Chan Siu Q Memorial School, Island School, King George V School, New Territories and Juveniles Association Limited, Leung Shing Tuck Primary School, Sha Tin College, Sha Tin Junior College, St. Stephen's College, the Hong Kong Girl Guides, West Island School. Dancers from Academy of Performing Arts, Chapio School of Ballet, Christine Liao School of Ballet. And from the British forces, the massed bands and pipes and drums. tears from the skies on an honourable withdrawal for Britain with pomp and pageantry. The guests will soon disperse for fireworks, and for us, this commercial break.
A lifetime commitment.
I want to be married.
An indecent proposal.
I want your girlfriend for the weekend.
Can Nicolas Cage recapture the woman he loves? Honeymoon in Vegas, Wednesday night at 9:30.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
老婆，
翻嚟啦！
又係咁嘅。今日係結婚108日紀念，不如出去食啊！今日結婚109日紀念，喺屋企食啊！
Joys of life come from a caring heart. Athens.
DHL has just turned 25. As part of our celebrations, for every 100 kilos worth of jumbo boxes, jumbo juniors, and express document envelopes you send, we'll donate $25 to the community chest. In addition, we're giving away Maxim's coupons.
The music comes alive in Ultramix 5, the planet's first dance music album completed in the audio magic of 24-bit mastering. Get your copy today of this collector's limited edition 34-track double CD collection. There's DISCO, The Saint, Night Fever, and more. Ultramix 5. From Respect Music.
Times are changing. Never before have business conferences been touched by such beauty and color. New facilities which breathe new life into every part of our service. The Garden Hotel Guangzhou, where business blossoms.
Good evening. For those of you who have just joined us on this historic day, Hong Kong is going to revert to Chinese sovereignty in 4.5 hours' time. A farewell ceremony took place at the Prince of Wales Barracks earlier this evening, marking the end of 156 years of British rule. The British side is hosting a banquet at the Convention and Exhibition Centre tonight before the formal handover ceremony at midnight. And earlier, the Chinese delegation, led by the President Jiang Zemin, arrived from Shenzhen at around 5 o'clock this afternoon. The President was accompanied by the Premier Li Peng. Both have been staying at the Special Economic Zone just across the border before coming over to Hong Kong. Welcoming them at the airport were the Chinese Foreign Minister Chen Qi-chen, the Chief Executive Designate Tung Chee-hwa, the Chief Secretary Anson Chan, and representatives of the new China News Agency in Hong Kong, including its director, Mr. Zhou Nan. The President and the Premier were taken to the Harbour Plaza Hotel in Hong Kong before attending the handover ceremony this evening at the Convention and Exhibition Centre.
And troops of China's People's Liberation Army will be marching across the border in about an hour's time. And Mark New is now in Shenzhen. Mark, what's happening over there?
China, right this very moment, the drums are getting louder and the whistles are blowing. And right now, the PLA is marching down Huanggang. As you can see, the large street there. 39 vehicles are in this group. This is the historic moment as they arrive here at Huanggang, which is on the Shenzhen side of the border. For the first time, these troops are armed. They're transporting in 464 weapons, light weapons that they've been classified, mostly firearms and sidearms and light rifles. And as they make their way down, the drums grow louder here, as you can see. Highly visible is this huge crowd. The line stretches all the way down this block. It's estimated 10,000 people here. Authorities of all sorts are attending this. Custom officials, Public Security Bureau officers, school bands, arts groups. The government has sent out invitations for companies to bring their workers in. Here they arrive. This moment puts to rest the wrangling over weeks in the JLG over whether these troops, 509 advanced soldiers, would ever arrive at this moment. China, of course, wanted these troops to come in perhaps greater numbers, while the British side argued in the first place that they were not necessary. But they did come to terms on this size right here. It all has been put aside as this advanced troop is to pave the way for 4,000 troops to arrive tomorrow. As you can see the scene, people are welcoming the troops. People from all walks of life. And as you can see, children bringing flowers once again to welcome the PLA and wish them well on their journey off into Hong Kong. So the anticipation has been building for this moment, and we'll take it back to the studio now, as this historic moment has finally taken place. The advanced soldiers, 509, paving the way for the eventual land, air, and sea arrival tomorrow morning.
People's Liberation Army there getting ready over in Shenzhen to come over to Hong Kong. Back in Hong Kong, tight security is enforced at the Wan Chai Reclamation Area where the convention center is located. The area has an extra 200 officers on duty. Stacey Wilkins has been there to take a look. Stacey.
Yes, Jenny, as you can see behind me, it is pouring rain in Wan Chai. Police on outside detail really have their work cut out for them. Hong Kong's finest are hitting the streets in record numbers. The team will secure the area around Harbour and Gloucester Roads for tonight's handover events.
Police had their first test of security late this afternoon. A protester with the Hong Kong Alliance was detained by police. The man was not arrested, just taken away from the area because he was harassing bystanders. The man was part of an alliance group sleeping out at the Wan Chai Ferry Pier. The group is using the international spotlight to bring attention to their cause. They want China to redress the June 4th incident. They plan to sleep out at the pier until the provisional legislature swearing in at 1 this morning. Aside from the alliance protests, things were quiet in Wan Chai during the day. Cops patrolled the streets, making sure the area is secure for tonight's handover festivities. And another unit inside was on high alert, making sure the convention center extension is safe for the ceremony. All visitors were subjected to an airport-style security check before being allowed to enter the venue.
The high-level security check will remain in effect through tomorrow. Now, I'll be back soon with a preview of tonight's fireworks show set to begin at 8:15 p.m. Back to you.
Stacey Wilkins in Wan Chai. And in Central, Statue Square has been bustling with activities for most of the day.
Hundreds of pro-democracy activists and members of the Democratic Party are planning to gather there later tonight to mark the handover of Hong Kong in their own way. And Deborah Khan is standing by in Statue Square. Deborah?
Thank you, Diana. As you said, it's been pouring cats and dogs down here. The crowd's thinned out. Exhibition booths have packed up, but believe it or not, it's not the end to tonight's activities. The Democratic Party still intends to hold its rally at 10 p.m. tonight to call for universal suffrage in Hong Kong. So far, everything's gone pretty smoothly down here, with Hong Kong people speaking up on the last day of British rule.
They say it's like fish in troubled water. They fear a loss of freedoms. But some came just because it was their right to do so. The last day of British rule, and Hong Kong people hope it does not mean an end to freedom and democracy in Hong Kong.
Protesting that our freedom speech is going to be restricted, and the freedom of association will be also restricted. We're not happy about the arrangement.
Everyone from students, teachers, and social welfare groups participated in an exhibition. Its goal to give Hong Kong people a chance to speak up.
We are all here, we're gathering, okay, trying to tell people that we are concerned, that they have to come out and speak their minds, otherwise we're doomed.
Most groups are calling for universal suffrage. But just next door, the gold name plaque of the Legco building was being pried off. A reminder its doors will be closed soon to Hong Kong's first fully elected legislature and replaced by an appointed one.
I think after the handover, most of the people, they got to come out to say what they want to have. And also, they shouldn't scare anything of the SAR government. If they do, I think Hong Kong will have no future.
Now, members of the Democratic Party plan to enter the Legislative Council building at around 1 o'clock this morning. Chairman Martin Lee will come from the handover ceremony and deliver a manifesto from the balcony up above behind me. Now, the provisional legislature has said that the Democrats should get permission from them in order to enter the building after midnight, but the Democrats have so far refused to do so. Just a few days ago, chairman of the provisional legislature, Rita Fan, said that the Democrats could in fact go inside, but could not give their speeches from the balcony. The Democrats say they will do so, and if necessary, they will use ladders to climb up from the outside to the balcony. I'll keep you updated as the events evolve this evening. Back to you in the studio.
And that was Deborah Khan out in Statue Square in the rain. And in Beijing, preparations are underway for a huge celebration in Tiananmen Square tonight. 10,000 guests will attend the extravaganza, which will feature fireworks, song and dance. Earlier in the day, police completely cleared people from the square to get ready for the big night. Mary Lois Chan filed this report earlier from the Chinese capital.
Away from the official handover bandwagon, modest signs of Beijing's heart.
100年的期盼，100年的回归。
And a remembrance of China's key player in the transition.
我也要等小平看到香港回归这一天。
From over 3,000 kilometers away, they're hoping Hong Kong's bright lights will shine for the motherland.
主要是促进经济的发展，然后呢，香港的文艺团体还可以到北京来。
Most express the official line that this is the first step to the total reunification of China.
我觉得台湾问题最终还是会有一个很好的结局，像香港顺利回归一样。
Thousands have flocked to Tiananmen in the last few days, but at 3:30 this afternoon, the police moved in, 30,000 in all. They clear the square for the 100,000 guests invited to Beijing's handover gala. But even if they have to leave the center stage, the rest of the capital will go on celebrating. Mary Lois Chan, TVB News, Beijing.
And coming up, more on the handover celebrations from Hong Kong and around the world after this break.
盡在世界。
養假身入到波至要緊，想入樽啊！哇 ，Striker 幾時都啱人，去街街咪手震。喂！We want Striker。跑完海灘跳 over 要小心啊 ！Striker 喺邊度都啱人。We want Striker。
And the convention center where the handover ceremony was held.
And so Chris Patton has left and Hong Kong has become a part of China. Let's take a break.
Tender slices of U.S. sirloin with a layer of cheese, garnished with onion on a roll. The Jack in the Box sirloin cheesesteak.
Nothing tops Jack in the Box。
養假身入到波至要緊，想入樽啊！哇 ，Striker 幾時都啱人，去街街咪手震。喂！We want Striker。跑完海灘跳 over 要小心啊 ！Striker 喺邊度都啱人。We want Striker。
Touch of elegance at the Great China Tower, Shenzhen.
Now you can let yourself go. But do it quickly, before everything disappears.
Enter the new century. Shape the new Asia. Emperor Group.
June 28th, 1997, Space presents the Great Hong Kong 97 Handover Dance Party, Unity. In conjunction with this historic musical event, Avex Tracks proudly presents the official CD dance compilation, Unity. 20 smash UK club hits, featuring Bellissima by DJ Quicksilver, The Wild Style by DJ Supreme, Open Your Mind 97 by Usura, The Funk Phenomena by Armand Van Helden, and more. Unity CD now on sale.
Avex Tracks.
Times are changing. Never before have business conferences been touched by such beauty and color. New facilities which breathe new life into every part of our service. The Garden Hotel Guangzhou, where business blossoms.
Welcome back. We will now go immediately to the Legislative Council, where the chairman of the Democratic Party, Mr. Martin Lee, is speaking. He's standing there on the veranda of the LegCo building with a number of legislators.
After he speaks in Chinese, he will be speaking in English.
He's saying that the success of Hong Kong is based on its freedom and democracy.
He says that Hong Kong people ruling Hong Kong, administering Hong Kong is not only left to dependent on China giving that to us.
He's asking to say whether that's true, and they're saying yes. So what we want is a democratic system.
Is that we must all struggle together.
Without democracy, without freedom,
no rule of law, no human rights. Long live democracy.
Huge crowd outside the Legislative Council.
One country, two systems is a great concept.
But to realize one country, two systems
is not easy.
We need mutual respect between the Chinese leaders and the people of Hong Kong.
And mutual trust.
And that a provisional legislature cannot take the place of a legislative council voted by millions of people of Hong Kong. This trust
cannot be dependent on taking away the human rights of the people of Hong Kong.
We hope we can, with the Chinese leaders, have a mutual trust. We are determined to be against the provisional legislature because it does not have legal status. The chairman of the Democratic Party, Mr. Martin Lee, outside LegCo.
He is flanked by his vice chairman. We down with the provisional legislature. Friends, why are we determined to make our speech here today? During the Second World War, in the basement of this building is a base of a lot of brave Hong Kong people who were suppressed stood ground here.
He's saying we want you to know that we love our country, we're patriotic,
and that they also like Hong Kong, that they also love Hong Kong. Long live democracy.
We demand the Chinese leaders, he's saying, as soon as possible, dismantle the provisional legislature, get rid of the provisional legislature, they're shouting.
We ask But there should be, as soon as possible, an open and fair and democratic election.
有啲人可能以為7月1號，既然我哋呢一班民選議員要落車，民主就完蛋啦。其實唔係，因為民。
And we'll take a break from Martin Lee on the balcony of the LegCo building to cross over live to Beijing, where tens of thousands of people have gathered at Tiananmen Square to celebrate the return of Hong Kong to China.
Believe it or not, this is actually one of the calmer moments of tonight's festivities here. Behind me, you can see that the countdown clock shows it's all happened. I think at the moment some of the capital's children are taking centre stage. Earlier on, it was completely buzzing here in Tiananmen Square. The lead up to the midnight countdown was a frenzy of patriotic feeling. Let's just take a quick look at these pictures.
Beijing celebration, an explosion of national pride. Under the countdown clock, a 2-hour song and dance of welcome for Hong Kong. Out in the main square, a carnival divided into 8 sections, representing the 8 districts of the capital. Different festivities go on in each one, but all marked by the same patriotic fervour.
At the moment, everyone is waiting to watch the inauguration ceremony of the Hong Kong SAR here on these big video screens we have behind us. And that will bring on another round of national songs with 100,000 people around Tiananmen Square all singing together. Tonight's festivities will end officially with the raising of the 5-star flag at dawn. And for the first day of the Hong Kong SAR, the main event here in Beijing will be a huge rally at the Workers' Stadium with 18,000 performers. And of course, President Jiang Zemin will be back to give the speech at that. I'll give you an update on that rally later on. For now, back to you in Hong Kong.
Mary Lois Chan with the celebration at Tiananmen Square in Beijing. We will now go back to East Timor, where the Royal Yacht Britannia is sailing. On it is the British delegation.
Prince Charles and the last governor, Chris Patten, his 3 daughters and wife, Lavender. They're heading for the Philippines.
Behind the Royal Yacht is the Prince of Wales Barracks. It used to be the British military headquarters and has now been taken over by China's People's Liberation Army, the Hong Kong garrison of that army.
Earlier this evening, the British official farewell ceremony was held there in the arena in East Timor. 10,000 guests were invited to that ceremony.
Flag of Britain, United Kingdom. You can still hear the military band in the background. Both a jubilant and a sad evening in Hong Kong in a way. Hong Kong is now part of China again.
It was a tearful farewell for the British. Chris Patten broke down and cried during the British farewell ceremony.
That was the Royal Yacht Britannia taking the British delegation away. It is sailing to the Philippines. It will take 3 days to get there. On it are the Patton, Mr. Christopher Patton, the 28th and last British governor of Hong Kong. In a moment, the new SAR government will be inaugurated, followed by the swearing-in of the provisional legislature. A reception has been held in London tonight by the British government. Julie Mapleston joins us now in London. Julie, what is the atmosphere like there?
Well, it's pretty quiet now. Banqueting House has just about emptied out, save for a few people from the Hong Kong department who are behind the screen, and they're watching the Royal Yacht Britannia disappear. But I haven't seen any tears here. A few people did admit to having a lump in their throat as the Union Jack was lowered. But I have to say the atmosphere was shattered somewhat when 2 trays of champagne hit the floor just at a crucial moment. So that somewhat detracted from the atmosphere for a little while there and sort of set people laughing when they should have been in tears. So maybe that had an effect on the atmosphere a little bit. But the Deputy Prime Minister, John Prescott, proposed a toast to Hong Kong's future, and he was backed up by the Chinese ambassador to Beijing, Ambassador Ma, who also proposed a toast to Hong Kong. He was also here for the reception. And what he said very much echoed what the British government has been saying, that Hong Kong should be a bridge between Britain and China. And he expressed his hope that the handover would usher in a new era of friendship between Britain and China. And the Chinese ambassador will be hosting his own reception in about an hour's time. So a lot of the people who are here will go on to that reception as well. There were about 350 people here, dignitaries from the Foreign Office, from other ministries, here to watch the live telecast from Hong Kong.
And Julie, what else did people say in their speeches?
Well, it was quite a brief speech from John Prescott, but he emphasized the historic nature of the occasion. It's impossible to overstate the historic nature of the occasion, really. Everyone was watching the screen. They saw the Chinese leaders and sitting alongside, basically, Prince Charles, the governor of Hong Kong. I mean, it was all there on the screen for everyone to say. I mean, there was not much that John Prescott could say, except that he wished Hong Kong well, and for the Chinese ambassador to follow that on with his toast. But it didn't have the atmosphere here that it has in Hong Kong, obviously. But there were people who've been involved with Hong Kong did really feel it was a bit of a sad occasion. Jenny.
Thank you, Julie.
Today is a very important day in the history of Hong Kong and our relationships with the People's Republic of China. We have just witnessed an unprecedented event in history where we have transferred the sovereignty of 6.5 million people and 400 miles of territory to the People's Republic of China. After 150 years, we have now returned Hong Kong to the People's Republic of China. And I would ask you to join with me in a toast to the future of Hong Kong. Ladies and gentlemen, the future of Hong Kong. Can I invite Ambassador Ma to join me up here?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, the Right Honourable Deputy Prime Minister. We have just witnessed the solemn and inspiring scene of Hong Kong handover ceremony. This is really a great event of historical significance. I wish to use this opportunity to express my sincere congratulations to the peoples of China and Britain for this great accomplishment. And I also want to express our warm greetings to the 6.5 Hong Kong compatriots. We all desire that Hong Kong should be a bridge, not a barrier, in the relations between China and United Kingdom. I hope the handover of Hong Kong will usher in a new period of relations in our two countries. I propose a toast to a bright future of Hong Kong, to the friendship between China and Britain, and to a new fresh start of friendship. Thank you.
That was the Deputy Prime Minister of Britain, Mr. John Prescott, and the Chinese ambassador to Britain marking the moment of Hong Kong's handover in London. We will now go back to the Legislative Council, where the chairman of the Democratic Party, Mr. Martin Lee, is speaking from the balcony of the building.
Come to Hong Kong precisely for freedom. And we want our freedom to continue as promised to us under the Joint Declaration.
He's flanked by members of the Democratic Party and many of them legislators.
We want democracy to preserve freedom so that this wonderful pearl will keep its luster. All of us here are committed to staying in Hong Kong and defend all our freedoms which we all cherish. We here give the world a promise. We promise to our people that we will fight all the way. We will continue to be your voice. We will continue to be the voice of Hong Kong.
Speaking on the balcony of Legislature, flanked by the legislators who did not make the through train.
As we stand here this early morning, in democratic solidarity, I will say to the whole world that the flame of democracy has been ignited in Hong Kong. It will not be snuffed out because the flame of democracy is burning in the heart of every person in Hong Kong. I give you a solemn promise on behalf of all of us up here. We shall return. 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 Finally, my vision today is that our country, China, which is a big country, will soon become a truly great nation, where the human right of every single individual citizen will be respected and protected by law. Long live democracy! 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 Thank you.
This is Yang Song, Vice Chairman of the Democratic Party.
Around the Legislative Council, you just heard Martin Lee give his address to the crowd. He spoke of today as a very happy day, saying that as Hong Kong returns to China, it puts an end to 150 years of colonial world.
He called it the most glorious day in history. But Martin did speak out against the provisional legislature, saying without the return of a democratic institution, the rule of law cannot be upheld here in Hong Kong. He said, quote, "We want Hong Kong and China to advance together. We're proud to be Chinese. Why won't our Chinese leaders give us democracy?" The evening has been an emotional one. Many behind me on the stage, many people have been taking turns giving speeches and also singing songs. Right now, various Democratic member parties are taking turn giving speeches. The whole idea tonight was for the Democratic Party to deliver their manifesto from the balcony. Their line is that they support the return to sovereignty with China, but they do want democracy back in Hong Kong. If we can pan up to the balcony, we'll listen in for a bit. This is Margaret Ng speaking, former legislative council member.
I have, and so I will defend democracy. Although today I am no longer in this council, I will continue to serve the people of Hong Kong in their fight for the rule of law, for democracy, and for liberty. Nor will those who share our beliefs until an elected legislature returns to this council. I thank you for coming tonight. I thank you for your support. I hope you will continue to support us. I ask you to support those who fight for freedom and democracy in Hong Kong. I ask you to support the fight for freedom, for democracy and the rule of law of the Chinese people. That fight will continue. It will gather strength and it will triumph. And when it does, I will be very proud indeed, and you will be proud together with me. I again pledge I will do my best to serve the rule of law and democracy and the fight for freedom until elections return to Hong Kong. 各位市民，我係吳靄儀，我相信自由、法治、民主、人權。我相信。
We're listening to Margaret Ng, a legislative counselor who will, an ex-legislative council from the Legal constituency who will be replaced by a provisional legislature member. Now, the Democratic Party says it realizes its battle will become harder in the future, but they're planning on taking more to the streets and turning to the Hong Kong people for support. I spoke to Martin Lee not long ago, and he said that indeed it would be more difficult, but they're going to have to hold more rallies for support and also turn to the media to get some more publicity. Reporting live from the Legislative Council, back to you in the studio.
That was Deborah Khan at the Legislative Council, where the former legislators who did not make the through train have been holding a rally. And now we take a commercial break.